Hello, it's not Boris, it's me, it's Mr. Oliver, and I've come to talk to you today about the possibility of running a purely Year 10 ski trip in an attempt to get us back to normal. So what I'm going to do is talk through the possibility. I know I've spoken to lots of you already. Obviously, this is going to be available to your parent carers, so it will just go through what we've set up and the possibility of running a Year 10 only trip during February half term. So as normal, we will be guaranteeing you 5 hours of instruction. We need to stress to you that you need to be able to ski. So that means you need to be able to link turns together. So basically, if you've been with us on the ski trip before, you've completed at least 1 week on snow with IBT. We're quite happy that you can go. The reason that we can't take beginners is the nursery slopes are going to be inundated with beginners. So when we normally go in January, there's about 80 skiers on a small nursery slope. During February half term, there's approximately 500 people on there. For those of you who skied with us before, you will know that will be incredibly difficult to learn to ski on, and also the number of times that you get to go on the button lift per day will be dramatically reduced. So there'll be a lot of time standing around. So what we're saying is you need to be able to ski and link turns together, but realistically you need to have been on one of our trips before. That £10 lunch voucher is still going to be included, and that's important because obviously we don't want to incur any more costs in what is going to be an already expensive trip, and I'll get to the cost in a minute. Okay. Normal evening entertainments will run. These are what we think we will be able to run, but I will be able to confirm those closer to the time. The issue is, of course, that the whole resort is busier, so we would need to get in early regarding some of these evening entertainments. The cost of the evening entertainments in the whole package is quite minimal, so we try and make the overall experience the same as it would be normally, less time hanging around in the hotel. So actually, by removing any of the evening entertainments, we don't reduce the cost dramatically of the trip. So obviously the important part is to discuss the vast increase in the cost in the trip compared to a term time course. This is one of the reasons why we always go during term time. We can get an incredibly reduced rate in terms of half term. I've spoken to the ski company a lot about this and tried to reduce the cost. With 40 students, the cost can be reduced dramatically because we would travel on a bus. The difference between the number of students we're envisaging signing up compared to what we normally take is negligible in terms of the idea is that we would fly rather than using the bus. And basically there are set costs for the price of a bus. So the number of students reduced under 20 just increases the cost per person, hence why the cost is as high as it is. I have tried to do everything that I can to reduce the cost. As I said, looking at the reduction of evening entertainments, looking at even the possibility of the staff hiring minibuses out in resort and driving rather than hiring a bus, and the cost is negligibly different. The only way we can maybe reduce the cost further from this is that we would fly home on the Friday night, which would be taking away the need for an extra night's accommodation. So the accommodation would be for 6 nights, where normally on this trip it's for 5. But bizarrely, we can't do that until we've kind of put in a definite booking. We know numbers, we know flight details. So I wouldn't like to say that we can do that. That's why we're saying that the cost will cost no more than £1,500. Which I know, as I've said, is a massive increase. As one of the students said to me today, that's nearly double. And of course, you know, the present ski trip for the January trip is £850. So yeah, it is considerably more, and I am fully aware of that. And we basically are just trying to put in place the possibility of running a course, because we understand that Year 10s had missed out and you were booked on the trip last year, and a number of parents and students had suggested you would want us to try and do something for you. So this is what we've investigated. It's really important that you understand that we need at least 20 paying pupils to make the course viable. And that's why I can't guarantee the course will go ahead, and that's why the notice of interest forms are really important this time compared to some of the other times when we've put those out. So I'm looking for really quick turnarounds, and the reason for that is to try and keep this payment scheduled to be more manageable. So the longer we go, that cost is more per month. So again, just to put it into context regarding the course in January, that it's £100 per month payments with £150 deposit. So I understand that the cost is a massive increase, but if there is a demand and we get 20 students, we're obviously, as a school and as a ski team, willing to take the students. We will be looking at the same kind of code of conduct that we would expect, because even though it's a non-term time trip, it's obviously still a school trip. So we'll be looking at no exclusions, excellent attendance record, good attitude to learning, excellent behaviour on trips. So that's going to be part of it as well. I don't envision that being a problem for anybody. Okay. I need to explain what would happen regarding a cancellation. So cancellation regarding COVID is slightly different to the January trip. So if you've got siblings or younger children who have signed up for that trip, we can guarantee different things because of that trip, because we're travelling on a bus. So currently as school, we're under the Department of Education guidelines, where the travel company are under the Foreign and Commonwealth Office guidelines, which are different. So IBT are guaranteeing for the January trip, if the Department of Education don't allow us to travel, then we will get a full refund. However, because there are flights involved in this, we're under the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. So what would need to happen is the flight would need to be cancelled because of COVID reasons for us to get money back. We're unsure at the moment regarding insurance, whether we get that back, but it's highly unlikely that we will get it back because of us cancelling the trip, because school is not allowed to travel if the flight is available. So I want to make that absolutely clear. We will be traveling like you would be doing on a normal family holiday because there is a flight involved. Now, if the flight is cancelled 7 to 10 days before, we will get a full refund, but it won't be possible to get the refund if, for example, school was told that we weren't allowed to travel by the Department of Education. We need to make it clear that if you sign up for the trip and cancel at any time, you will be liable for more costs than you would have been in the past, because obviously flights at a certain point in the year, flights will have been bought. So the deposit that will have been refundable to you is made clear in the contract that you're going to sign up for, that says certain dates or when we have incurred a cost that's non-refundable from the ski company, which will be the flight basically. So if you drop out, for example, in September, the flight theoretically should have been purchased by then, so you wouldn't get your money back in that respect because you would have paid for the flight. Obviously, if you were injured or unable to travel for a medical reason other than COVID related, then we could claim that back through the insurance, which we would have been done normally and in a normal situation. But I just want to make these things absolutely clear to you as students and also as parents, which is why I'm doing a video rather than just putting out the information in the email. So what we need to do, you need to read the email that's been sent to the student school email address regarding the ski course. They need to show that to your parent carers, or as you as parents, you need to read that email that's gone to the students. In the email is a link to an electronic form, which is an expression of interest. You need to carefully read that and then agree to that. Now, obviously, you can read everything that's on it and not agree to it. If you don't submit that expression of interest, that's okay. But if you are wanting to go on the trip, then put that expression of interest form in. You as the student and your parent carers must electronically sign the code of conduct, and then submit that form. Now, in terms of meeting deadlines, we've already had these conversations with students. We've put the information out there, so this shouldn't really be much of a shock to parents and regarding the cost. So we're looking for a quick turnaround, which will be Wednesday, the 31st of March. From that, I can then say whether the course is going to be viable. Because I have no life, I will do it on Good Friday, so we can turn that around pretty quickly. We can also then set up a payment plan, etc., for parents to be able to complete. So that can be set up in school on the Thursday, for me to sort everything out for the Friday. So you would get that email no later than Friday to say the course is going ahead. Obviously, I would email out to say that we haven't hit the 20 numbers of students and the course isn't viable. And then if we get to that point where the course is viable, you need to pay a £200 deposit by Friday the 23rd of April. If we don't receive at least 20 £200 deposits, then after that date, the course isn't viable. So all we would do is simply return the money back to you. But that money's safe. We're not having to pay anything to the ski company. We've brought those deadlines forward, so we know that we've got a course and we're making sure that it's viable. Okay. I know this isn't ideal in terms of the situation because of the cost, and I fully understand in terms of the economic situation that the cost is fantastically more than we've had to pay before. And to me, it just makes us reassure us that we do the right thing in taking more students during the January window that allows us to do that. But obviously, if you're wanting to ski with the school in February 2022, then this is the way to do it. And obviously, you'll know that we'll do the best we can to make the trip a success. Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully, we will get 20 students.